All right, y'all. Um, I saw our good friend Tommy Sotomayor, and I disagree with him a little bit. Makes a lot of good points on this video we're about to go over, but it's just some things I disagree with him a little bit on. So I just thought I'd just make a little video to point that out. All right, let's get started with Tommy.
I can have an orgy with 5 women and end up a baby daddy of 5 children in one night. It can happen. If you're a woman and you have several children, do y'all not understand what it takes to be a woman to have several children by several different men? To have multiple children by multiple men? Do you not understand what it takes? Okay, you had to be irresponsible in your sex with one guy. We're just going to say one. We're not going to say out there whoring. We're just going to say one. One guy, he didn't marry you. That's why I was going back to how you got that way. We'll jump back on that too. He didn't marry you. You didn't whatever. You were just sleeping reckless with him and you came up with a baby. Cool. You didn't want to take the morning after pill? Nope. You wanted his baby. Because when I want you men to understand, when a woman, there's a difference between when a man has a baby by a woman and a woman has a man's baby.
All right, I don't understand this one, so let's let him explain this one.
Most of the women we have babies by, we didn't want them.
Agreed.
In the black community, I'd say 90% of the men with babies had babies by women they did not want them by.
That number's a little high, Tommy. I would take it down. Maybe 70, maybe 70 or 60%. I would 90% is a little high.
Were hoping wouldn't be theirs when they took the DNA test. That they were avoiding taking the DNA test with because they didn't want the baby to be theirs. They wanted nothing to do with the baby. They wanted nothing to do with the woman. 100% of the babies that are born to women, they wanted that man to get them pregnant. That's what they wanted. So that's the...
Tommy. What about the ARPs, Tommy? What about people that got ARPed? Are they in that 100% too? You think somebody that got ARPed wanted the baby that resulted as a condition of the ARP? Gotta think over what we're saying, Tommy. So now if you put it like this, 100% of the women that had consensual sex with these people wanted the baby, that would have made more sense. But what you just said didn't make no sense. All right, let's keep moving.
The nigga they chose. So we'll talk. If that's the man you chose and that's who you wanted to be your baby daddy, then why am I coming in second? The reason why it's so hard for a woman to get over the first guy she sleeps with, because they say when a man ejaculates inside of a woman, it changes her down to the DNA.
Agreed.
Because his DNA enters into her.
Agreed.
So it's a...
But who is the they? Who is the they? But I agree with that statement.
Strange thing they say that happens. They also say that once a man gives a woman an orgasm, it takes her about 30 days to get over. She has to have her cycle in order to get over that man. So he's imprinted himself on that woman, which kind of makes sense because you're actually putting something in front of...
I disagree. Much shorter time in today's. Maybe in the old days, but maybe in the 50s or 60s. But in today's time, no. The average woman, especially in her 20s and 30s, at that time frame, 30 days is going to be reduced down to maybe 3 or 4. But what do I know? All right, Tommy, let's keep going.
Inside of someone. So that's why, to me, a lot of these black women are crazy because they have so many dudes coming inside of them. If you have a bunch of dudes doing this.
Agreed. 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 That is a huge issue, right? That's why so many women are sick. So many women have um, undiagnosed illnesses because you have all of this different um, sperm inside, right? Some goes out as waste, but some is absorbed by the body, right? And so now, whenever different DNA is in the body, it has to be accounted for. It has to be accounted for. And so all of this different DNA has to be accounted for by the brain subconsciously, right? But this DNA will fight back. It'll try to integrate itself into the woman's DNA, right? Just like a cancer cell, right? So the brain has to have a set of hedges around this DNA, right? But if it's so much, can create problems, can create real physical issues, right? That's why cleanses is so important for women. A cleanse is so important for women, man. Fasting and cleansing from men is so important when you're actually trying to uh, re repackage yourself for a decent man, because a decent man is not going to want to be involved with a woman that has so many other men's DNA in her that when he gives her instructions, she doesn't know whether to follow his instructions or the last man's DNA or the last man after before that. This creates a lot of confusion, in my opinion. In my opinion, but definitely agree with Tommy on that multiple men's DNA um, in a woman's system can create confusion. Definitely.
You like Freddy Krueger, mama. But you have y'all seen a woman with babies or that don't have a baby? And her stomach is all fucked up, looking like the thing of oatmeal, just messed up. Stomach just horrible. Or they breasts just don't have no more lift in it. They just sleep. The body's just different. It ain't the same. Well, some other man ruined your body. And now they're expecting the new man to accept this ruining of their body. I remember when I put up a post.
Okay, what y'all think? All right, the woman expecting a man to accept the ruining of the body, or does a woman have options to set up herself so that the new man, is getting a new body, right? So I talked to you about the cleansing, the cellular cleansing. That cellular cleanse is going to clean all that other men's DNA out of your system. The fasting is going to get you. It's going to get your spirit and bring your spirit and your body together on one accord. That is going to prepare you for the new man. You take old DNA into a new situation, probably going to get the same results as before. All right, well, let's finish up with Tommy.
About I don't like women with stretch marks. And these women came and said, well, stretch marks shows that we've brought forth life. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't mine. So why would I want to deal with your stretch marks? Again, my bad credit that I got from somebody else. Ladies, let me ask y'all, how many of y'all want to date a man that's got bad credit because he got kids with somebody else?
Nah, that's a valid point. That's men think that way. Men think this way. Oh, that's wrong. They shouldn't think that way. Well, wrong or right, this is how men think about the situation. So you got to keep that in mind when you out here with men and you're expecting men to step into the stepfather role. That is a role that not a lot of guys are capable of doing. And so when you find a guy that's actually willing to do it, you got something. Maybe he is a keeper. Maybe he's a keeper, right? I try to tell guys, don't even think about stepfatherhood until you meet your at least late 30s, early 40s, because you're just not mature enough to handle that role. That's a very serious role. very delicate, right? You got to be the support of someone who has had children, support the child that's not yours, and very delicately, you might be asked to discipline this child, right? It's not yours. And then on top of all that, most women will say this to you: my child comes first. What guy's going to want, if you're not at a certain understanding in your thinking process, the average guy is not going to want to come second to, or third, or fourth, or fifth to a woman's children. Who, I mean, no one's going to really want to sign up for that situation, right? So I understand where Tommy's coming from with this particular issue.
Yes. In the black community, the difference between how other races of people get children and how we get them, at least when you had a baby, you were trying to have a real relationship. Because you were.
See, this is right here, this I don't get. A lot of black people have try to have relationships with people. So that's not altogether true. That's not altogether true. Because a lot of black people had tried to have a relationship with somebody, and just didn't work out. They had a relationship, they had a baby with the person. Look at Tia Mowry. I mean, it just didn't work out. Looked good on the surface. Everything looked like it was, all the boxes were checked, right? Nice guy, good guy. They've got money, right? But it just didn't work out, right? That's the question. Why aren't these relationships in the black community working out? Why? What's the issue? That's a whole nother question. All right, let's go.
Married. You didn't have just regular guy's baby. You had a man called your husband's baby. You didn't have one night stand at college baby. You had your husband's baby.
Right. White women and Asian women and Latino women, they're all married when they're having babies, right? They're all married, right? They're not going down to the abortion center. They're not leaving these babies, letting them get adopted. They're not doing none of that stuff, right? It's only black women that's, having babies with men that's not their husband, right? Now this one, I definitely don't agree with this with Tommy on this one, but hey, let's listen to him and see. Let's hear him out.
You didn't have Dorcel and Man baby. You had your husband's baby. You vetted this guy. You sat down and thought this would be a smart decision, and I'm going to make him put a ring on it.
Man, Tommy, there's an application called TikTok. You need to run over there and check it out, man. There is a lot of, other than black women, single moms over there. You need to go check out that TikTok, man, because right now what you're saying does not add up with the evidence on the table. But I get you. I get what you're trying to say, but you need to say it in a different way, man, so that you can, be more realistic to what's actually going on.
Before I bring forth his child. So what kind of woman are you just to lay down and keep getting pregnant by men who didn't want it? You keep laying down with men that don't want it.
Well, Tommy, a lot of these women are trying to make something work, and unfortunately for them, they are not. How can I say it? They are not totally understanding what they should be looking for in the sexual selection process. So they will pick things in a man that are not a long-term benefits because they don't understand what to look for and what to do to pick somebody for a long-term relationship in the sexual selection process. They select them for their body or the way they talk or some type of swag, some type of something that won't translate into a long-term relationship. But at the time, to them, it looks like that's what, and they don't have anybody teaching them, unfortunately. Or if they do, they're not paying very good attention. All right.
Those are bad decisions you're making, ma'am. Make one bad decision. I understand. One guy got me pregnant. I thought he wanted to be with me and he didn't. Again, this goes back to the first part, which is how they got it. They did something you didn't do. Weigh the options before jumping into it.
Man, Tommy, you gotta go over to TikTok, bro. You'll see a lot of women that's not black that are in the same situation. They're in the same situation.
And that's why women with children get mad at people saying don't date women with children, because what they did is they know they didn't do their due diligence. They didn't make the correct decision. They're living with a mistake. And everybody loves to say, my kids ain't a mistake. Well, if you believe your kids ain't a mistake, you wouldn't have a problem with a man not want to date you because you have them. Your kids are a blessing. Then you wouldn't have a problem with somebody who doesn't want them. You'd want to get the people who do want them. You think it's such a great thing, you wouldn't have this problem of having to argue with people who don't like it. Because you know there's more people who do. You would never argue with a person who doesn't like what you have if what you have you think is good. Never seen pretty women sitting around arguing with men who say don't date pretty women. There's many men who will tell you don't date or don't marry pretty women. They say it all the time. Guess who you never see arguing that point? Pretty women.
I get where he's coming from, but I think most of the time where you have the pushback on when women say, when guys say I don't want to date single moms, I think the pushback comes from mainly um, um, just them being excluded simply on the basis of having somebody else's children, and they feel like that shouldn't disqualify them from the sexual selection process, and so um, uh, uh, they don't understand or realize how men think about the situation. See, because to say what's right or wrong, right, it's irrelevant in the dating. All's fair in love and war in dating, right? In dating, because you could say, well, this is wrong, but who cares whether it's wrong? That's the way it is, right? Right? A woman could come out and say, hey, you only 5'10". I only want to date men that's 6 feet and above. But you're excluding me from the sexual selection process just because I'm 5'10". Well, women do that all the time. Well, I want a man that makes this much money. They exclude you from the sexual selection process, right? Right? And it's an issue when men start removing women from the sexual selection process. Now we got an issue. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That's not fair. Nothing's fair in dating and romance and war and romance. It's nothing fair. Right? It is what it is. If there's men out there that don't want to date women that have children by other men, then that's what it is. And we know that to be true. Just like if there's women out there that don't want to date men because they don't make six figures, we know that that's true. So everybody has all kind of different ways to remove the other group of people from the sexual selection process, right? Anyway, let's move on.
Because they know being a pretty woman is a commodity, and a man would rather marry a woman who's pretty than one who isn't, even though you know being pretty comes with a headache and everybody knows it. Women know their children and them being single is a sign of them being irresponsible. They know it is. And every time they can get a Russell Wilson to date one of them, that's why women go around and cheer.
You know what? I don't agree with that, man. I don't think women look at it like that. I think women look at it like these are such beautiful, these are my beautiful children, and I wouldn't change anything. And I have these children, right? I think that's more how women look at it. I don't think women look at it like these children are. Let me say the average woman. I don't think they look at it like that. But that's how men look at it. But that's not how an average woman looks at it, right? They don't look at their children as mistakes. They look at their relationships as mistakes, but not the children. That's just my opinion. All right, let's finish up.
But you don't see men cheering for women dating single fathers. I ain't never seen no man going around cheering that Nicki Minaj dating whatever his name, Petty, Mr. Petty. Never seen it. And we men got felonies on our records and all kind of stuff. And we didn't go around cheering for this man like this man just won the Olympics. Why not? Because women, they actually do that. They actually cheer for a single mom, Sierra, getting Russell Wilson to be with her. They cheer for that because they said, maybe I can get me a simp too. Maybe I can get me a simp too that come in and clean up all my sins. Maybe I can get me a simp too to wash away all my sins.
Okay. Let me give you some definitions here. A simp is a man that's going to walk into a situation knowing he's at a disadvantage. Knowing he's at a disadvantage. He's going to walk into that situation and still try to put 100% into that situation, right? But a man that comes into a situation whether the woman has children, right? Let's say she's a single mom. But if the single mom has a particular attitude about being with the man, where she doesn't press him with the whole "my children come first" situation, that's the quickest way to get a man out of your life if you're a single mom is to say, "My children come first." Once you tell a man that your children come first, he's going to recognize that this is not going to work for him. I mean, anybody with their eyes open and see. That's why you don't tell women, "Oh, my children come first," right? We as men, we can't say that. My children come first. A woman's going to say, "I understand that." And she's going to just bounce. Because she have children. She understand. Yeah, my children come. She hear you say that? She know. All right, okay. I'm at the bottom of the list. Why do I want to get into a situation where I'm at the bottom of the list, right? When I can find a woman with no children and I'm not at the bottom, I'm at the top of the list, right? Theoretically, right? So, that's why, like I said, that's why attitude and, the attitude is very important. And, we just gotta select better, in my opinion.
Because that's what it takes. It takes a simp to come in and say, "I will wipe away all the mistakes you made." The pretty.
Okay, yeah. So let me finish with the simp thing. So the simps are the guys that's like he said, they're gonna do all this extracurricular work for no pay, right? I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna I'm gonna fix your financial issues. I'm gonna try to fix your, relationship, for relationship issues and so on and so forth, right? Knowing that, he hasn't been selected because of desire. He's been selected out of, necessity, right? Whereas a man like Russell Wilson, I mean, he looks at the situation. I don't consider Russell Wilson a simp just because he dealt with a single mom. Because there's a reason why you should be dealing with single moms if you're going to deal with them. And it shouldn't be, oh man, just because I want to hit it. I think he developed a love and a respect for her, right? And then she, at some point, tried to show that to him as well. And he felt like it was worth the risk to get involved with that, right? Because getting involved with people with children, there's a risk there, right? The baby daddy, the baby mama, right? Custody situation. There's a risk you getting involved in that situation, right? There's a risk to you. And I think single parents sometimes don't understand the risk that they're putting out there toward the other person, right? They can at least understand where they're coming from and then deal with that, right? But I don't think just because you deal with a single mom doesn't make you a simp. The reason why you're dealing with a single mom could make you a simp.
Pretty woman syndrome. Well, single mothers, you're helping put out incomplete, broken people, and you don't have to. You are the gatekeeper to that. And when you decide to bring forth broken people, no one should help you. You should become a pariah to the community. And again, I'm not saying all, and I'm not telling men they shouldn't date these women. But I also pointed out to you how they became single mothers should be the most paramount thing to a person deciding that he wants to jump that and do it seriously. Most people.
Agreed. You should vet everybody, single moms and non-single moms. You should vet everybody very carefully, women carefully, because it's a lot out here, man, and a lot of people out here, and they look very good, and they look like they're got their sense about them. And then you start dating them, and you start seeing the layers start coming back, and then you start seeing, wow, this person is no bueno, right? A lot of these people with these real serious mental issues, they know how to hide it. They know how to hide it very well. They'll make sure they make it look like they have a normal understanding of things. Till they get more comfortable, they start relaxing more in a relationship with you, and then you start seeing little breadcrumbs of mental instability. Yikes. Whether they got children or not. Anyway, let's move on.
People, again, just date them and just screw them. But if you wanted to date them seriously, the thing that should be the biggest question you ask is, how did you become a single mom? And if she became a single mom by a fly-by-night nigga, by a nigga named Man, a nigga named Doracell.
No, I don't think that's not a question to ask. How did you become a single mom? The thing that you need to ask, what you need to find out is if there's mental instability. That will tell you in itself how she became single parent. You know what I mean? Because many women have tried to have meaningful relationships with guys, but they don't know how to select the proper type of guy to do that with. They select swag over character, right? This dude got swag, and he got a nice car. Okay, but unfortunately, that may not be that person. If you select swag instead of character, that person might not hang around in a relationship, or he might look at you and say, "You not what I was actually looking for," right? But anyway, let's move on. We got a little bit more to go, y'all.
If she became a baby mama on any of those levels, a weekend, my second daughter was literally a one-night stand, and that woman went back home to where she lived and kept it and had a fiance. That's insane.
Yeah, Tommy, but you slept with this chick, man. You slept with this chick. You slept with this chick. I don't get that. It's like it's so funny, man. A lot of brothers like this, man. They would just say, "Man, I was a poor innocent person in this situation. I got taken advantage of by this woman." And then she decided to keep the baby. No. We're not in that position anymore. We're not in that place anymore where you as a man can say, Oh, I was just, I wasn't looking to have a baby, but that's the intended purpose. That is the purpose for having sex, is to produce babies, right? So if you have sex with somebody and a baby gets conceived from that, you should know that that's not a strange situation. That's actually the way it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go like that. If you sleep with a woman, you're supposed to bring forth a baby. But here's this man saying, "Oh, well, she went back, and poor me. I put my penis inside of her, and I don't know what happened." Come on, man. We all adults here. We're all adults here. If you put your penis in somebody and you ejaculate and you transfer ownership of your sperm, the woman can take it and use it for its intended purpose, which is conceiving. And once you conceive, that's a responsibility that you have. You now have made that responsibility for yourself, and you have to take care of it. Why should you put it on us as the taxpayer to deal with it? That's your responsibility. All right.
So she did it though, because the government and society continues to take care of and push them to the front.
Well, what you want? What you want, Tommy? What is our option? Shanty towns like in Brazil and in Africa and other parts of the not so developed world. Shacks, Haiti. You want just you know parts of the city where it's nothing but tent huts. I mean, what's a better option? At least having services for these people so that they are not just out here on the street, dying and making other people sick, or having services for them where they can at least have an option of trying to get better. I don't think we think about this thing all the way through.
They don't have a problem bringing forth a kid, which means they don't have a problem with bringing forth the damage, the brokenness. They don't have a problem with bringing forth harm.
But you slept with this woman. You slept with them. You don't have no problem bringing forth the harm because you gave this woman your seed, your sperm, right? You obviously don't have no, because that's what it's used for. That's the purpose of it. The purpose ain't for you to get, the dopamine. The purpose is for you to actually get impregnate the female. That's what the purpose of having sex is. That's the number one purpose. Now I agree, man. There's some double standards out here for women, right? For example, here's one double standard. One double standard is if you as a man don't pay for your child in child support and somebody gets a child support order against you and you don't pay it, you can end up going to jail, right? But a woman can walk into a fire station and just hand over a baby and walk away. No financial responsibility, no nothing. And you as a dad may still be responsible financially for that child, even though the woman gave it away and it's with somebody else. The state may still go after you for support for that child. It's a double standard, but that's what we dealing with. So that's why we got to be very careful where we lay down and who we give ownership of our sperm to. Very, very careful. All right, let's go. Let's continue. We're almost there.
They don't have a problem with that. And that should be very scary to us all, because you're a selfish hooah. If you
How is she selfish? If you gave her, she wouldn't be able to be selfish if you didn't give her the sperm to be selfish with. I don't get that. How are we putting the cart before the horse? Eh.
would sit here and know what it's like to not have a father and do that to your kid.
But you ain't got no father, and you know what it's like, and you did that. You gave her you impregnated the woman so that she could have a kid. What am I missing here? Tommy, what am I missing, man? What am I missing?
Know what it's like to not have a family and do that to your kid. To know what it's like to have to be separated and do that to your kid. To know what it's like to not know where you belong, because when they go have a graduation, somebody got the daddy walking them down the aisle. When they have their baby, they daddy there. When they get married, their daddy there. When they score their first touchdown, they daddy there. But you keep bringing children to where they don't have that, and then you got this. So now you're looking for a stepdaddy. The black community is messed up because all we're looking for is stepdaddies and mentors. And what we need to do is have less stepdaddies and less mentors.
Okay, how you gonna have less stepdaddies? The way you're gonna have less stepdaddies if you stop having this unprotected premarital sex. But we don't want to do that, Clarence. We don't want to do that. That's not what we want to do. We want to have these babies. We want to do what we want to do, and then instead of having a baby, that's where the problem is. Once if she conceive, we want to murk this baby. So she should be open to murking these babies. Women should be open to murking all these babies all the time. Yeah, they might murk one, they might murk a second one. But what if you the dude that catches her after her second baby murk? She ain't gonna be as interested in marking the number 3 as she was in number 1. That's why. But see, we don't want to do what we really need to do is develop the discipline in the men to say, I'm not going to go out here and have premarital unprotected sex with women that, women that have children, they already are telling you what they're going to do. They're showing you what they're going to do as a great time, like you said. They're already showing you what they're going to do if they get pregnant. So why put yourself in that situation by having unprotected sex with somebody like that? But you have unprotected sex with these women, unprotected premarital sex with these women, then you turn around and blame the woman. Who the woman could not do none of this stuff if you did not participate in the conception of the baby. But you blame the woman for bringing the life forward. What else is a woman supposed to do? That's what a woman's here to do, bring life forward. All right, let's continue.
Lead these women to drown on their own.
Okay.
If you're going to have children recklessly, fine. Nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to have anything to do that. We're not going to preach this to you. We're not going to call you a queen. Black women ought to be upset that most of the women that they call a queen are the ones who have children and do irresponsible things. The ones we got to call queen are the ones that's doing the dumbest stuff. You don't see women that's got their head on and their mind right and their business right and their affairs in order. You don't hear them going around saying, call me a queen. Guess who you see saying, call me a queen all damn day? Guess who you see saying, call me a queen all damn day? People who done messed up. They want you to clean away. That's why you think black women love Jesus.
Uh-oh. Why, Tommy?
Why do you think one of the favorite stories they like to tell is she was a whore and they were getting ready to stone her? And Jesus started writing in the ground, please don't throw no rocks at this hole. They never told you what he was writing in the ground. He probably was saying something talking about her.
All right, y'all. That's what it is, What y'all think? What y'all think, man? Tommy crazy? I agree with him on some things and some things I didn't, you know what I mean? But, what do I know, right? What do I know? But yeah, man, what do you guys think? Number one, should men deal with single moms. I think you got to be at a certain point to deal with single moms. Single moms are not people to play with, man. So you got to be, got to be the right kind of. She got to have the right kind of attitude, and you got to be the right kind of guy too. You know what I mean? So, and is it just the women's fault for having all these babies? It's not, man. Somebody had to lay with them. That's my point. Somebody had to lay down with them, and it ain't no other woman. It's a man. And we men are creating these issues by sleeping with all of these different women, and then you wonder why you ain't got no good woman around because you guys had a bar so low for them to participate in the sexual selection process. The bar is so low. All they got to do is have a BBL and all this crazy makeup and eyelashes and wigs and all. You got the bar so low that they don't even have to include what their attitude is like. You're willing to deal with them based on their beauty appearance, right? It's not good. What you want is a blend of the beauty appearance and the character being of such a high caliber or teachable character, teachable caliber, right? Maybe this person just don't know what good character is, but if they're teachable, if you can teach them, may just work, right? But you got a person that don't have a character and don't want to learn and can't learn, you're just going to be frustrated all day long. Anyway, this was Tommy. Shout out to Tommy. He was discussing single dads, single moms. And I agree with some of the points he was making, but I had to spell it out a little more. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Let me know in the comments, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think.